Then all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in place of his father Amaziah. He built Eleph and restored it to Judah after the king Amaziah slept with his fathers in death. Uzziah was 16 years old when he became king, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jechiliah of Jerusalem. He did right in the sight of the Lord, in accordance with everything that his father Amaziah had done. He continued to seek God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding through the vision of God. And as long as he sought, inquired of, longing for the Lord, God caused him to prosper. He went out and made war against the Philistines, and broke through the wall of Gath, the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod. And he built cities near Ashdod, and elsewhere among the Philistines. God helped him against the Philistines, and against the Arabs who lived in Gurbaal, and the Meunites. The Ammonites paid tribute money to Uzziah, and his fame spread abroad, even as far as the border of Egypt, for he became very strong. Uzziah also built towers in Jerusalem, at the corner gate, the valley gate, and at the corner buttress of the wall, and fortified them. He also built towers in the wilderness, and dug many cisterns, for he had a great deal of livestock, both in the lowlands and in the plain. He also had farmers and vine dressers in the hill country and in the fertile fields, for he loved the soil. Moreover, Uzziah had an army ready for battle, which went into combat by divisions, according to the number of their muster, as recorded by Jeiel the scribe, and Marciah the official, under the direction of Hananiah, one of the king's commanders. The total number of the heads of the fathers' households of valiant men was 2,600. Under their command was an army of 307,500, who could wage war with great power to help the king against the enemy. Moreover, Uzziah prepared shields, spears, helmets, body armour, bows, and sling stones for the entire army. In Jerusalem, he made machines of war, invented by skillful men, to be put on the towers and on the corner battlements, for the purpose of shooting arrows and large stones. And his fame spread far, for he was marvellously helped until he was strong. But when Uzziah became strong, he became so proud of himself and his accomplishments that he acted corruptly, and he was unfaithful, and sinned against the Lord his God. for he went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense on the altar of incense. Then Azariah the priest went in after him, and with him 80 priests of the Lord, men of courage. They opposed King Uzziah, and said to him, "It is not for you, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord, but for the priests, the sons of Aaron, who have been consecrated to burn incense. Get out of the sanctuary, for you have been unfaithful, and will have no honour from the Lord God." Then Uzziah, with a censer in his hand to burn incense, was enraged. And while he was enraged with the priests, leprosy broke out on his forehead before the priests in the house of the Lord, beside the incense altar. As Azariah the chief priest and all the priests looked toward him, behold, he was leprous on his forehead, and they hurried him out of there, and he also hurried to get out, because the Lord had stricken him. King Uzziah was a leper to the day of his death, and being a leper, he lived in a separate house, for he was excluded from the house of the Lord. And his son Jotham took charge of the king's household, judging and governing the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, from the first to the last, Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, has written. So Uzziah slept with his fathers in death, and they buried him with his fathers in the burial field of the kings, outside the royal tombs. For they said, "He is a leper." And his son Jotham became king in his place.